this word truth.
It's crazy, man.
Because so
You don't
many
encourage
times when it comes to
young
communion,
Christians to be
it's
Christian.
Truly, I tell you. Jesus.
Only when they
Truly, I
follow
tell
and
you
bend the
that.
knee.
And they'll say, God is not a God
They have
of
their own
deception.
questions.
So truly he needs, it's really his body.
Doesn't make
And I
sense.
respect that. I really do. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I don't make a huge deal out of it. But to say transubstantiation, in order to be a strong Christian, or I hope you would never say saved, you have to actually believe in transubstantiation, which is the claim you're making. In
That's not the claim. I don't believe in the
Wow.
scholastic idea of transubstantiation, but I do believe in the real presence. And my argument,
I believe that there's presence there.
well, that it's actually his body and his blood.
That's transubstantiation.
No, transubstantiation is the metaphysical idea that the substance goes from being the substance of bread and wine to
The
the
actual,
substance,
but it's
right?
connected. It's
But
connected
you
directly.
could believe in consubstantiation like Lutherans believe.
Sure.
You could believe in other
So
metaphysical
are those
things.
salvific? Do you need to believe in those
No,
to get to
no.
heaven?
What I think is necessary is to believe in the faith of the apostles, and they believe that was truly his body and his blood. That's what all
So
of the early
if you
Christians-
don't believe in what the apostles teach on communion specifically, that the body is the actual body in the bread,
right.
and the blood in the wine, then are you not saved?
So I think you're kind of viewing salvation as a one-time thing, which I think in of itself is a Protestant worldview. I think the patristic
guy's not
understanding
truthful
of
and
the
not
early
worth
Christians
following
was that salvation
at
is
all.
union with God. So it's
He
a
turned a
process.
clear question
Part of
from
that-
Based
another
off of works
Christian
and
into
tradition.
an argument
Well,
because
what
he
do you mean by
doesn't know.
works?
You're saying it's a
Crazy.
process, salvation is.
Salvation is a process. in
Sounds
which-
like works versus a one-time decision
Right.
to lay everything at the foot of the cross and say, Jesus, I am unworthy.
Right.
I need your saving grace.
we
You
don't-
save me.
right.
When I hear you say process, that makes me very nervous, my friend.
Well, you
Very
see-
nervous.
you see in the
because
Bible-
now it is becoming a salvation issue.
Well, if you
Nervous
see the
because
writings
I
of
have
St. Paul, he
questions.
talks about
Nervous
how we were
because you can't
saved.
answer them.
Yes.
He also says you're being saved, and he also said that you will be saved on the
Yep,
last
that's
day.
exactly right.
So this is a
So
past.
justification
It's a past,
and
present,
sanctification.
but the word being used is salvation in all of them. It's
But we
past,
also
present,
have to
future.
remember that in the Bible it says, by grace you have been saved.
Of course, and we believe that
That's
too.
endless. That's
We
all
believe
over
that.
the
We
place.
believe that. But if we believe that salvation is synergistic, which means it's a cooperation of energies, there's the energy of God, which is grace. But then we must also cooperate with the grace of God and be faithful to Him, right? That's why St. Paul, in fact, Cliff quoted in Philippians chapter 2, it says, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. There's the faithfulness. In Romans 4, when St. Paul quotes Genesis and he says that Abraham believed and it was counted to him as righteousness, he's quoting Genesis chapter 15, verse 6, which is 3 chapters after Abraham was already
They should
called.
be able to ask
He'd done
questions
stuff, he was faithful to God.
without fear of having
That
to
was how
receive
he
this
was
type
able to
of
demonstrate his
backlash.
belief. It wasn't just empty faith.
This is not an environment that encourages you asking questions at all.